New Thought Radio. Music from all your favorite New Thought artists. From Jamie Lula, Karen Drucker, Gary Lynn Floyd, Ricky Byers, Daniel Nahmod, Eddie Watkins Jr., and many, many more. 24/7 New Thought Radio. Positively inspiring. New Thought Media Network is proud to present Cosmic Prayers, your weekly shift, Mondays at 11 Mountain Time, with your host, Laura Topper. The Cosmic Prayers, live from the UK. And now, here she is, Laura Topper.
Hi, and welcome to the Cosmic Prayer. Welcome here. It is so great to be here on Monday evening, 6 o'clock in the evening here in the UK. And I know it's 11 o'clock Mountain Time. If you've been here before, or if this is your very first time to the Cosmic Prayer, you are in the right place at the right time. And you can rest in the knowing that you are absolutely in to be a part of this experience today with me and our incredible guest who is joining us on the Cosmic Prayer. So my name is Laura Topper, and the Cosmic Prayer is here being viewed through, if you're viewing it through right now, it's through New Thought Media Network. If you're watching it afterwards, then New Thought Media Network is the platform that it is happening from, which is such a blessing. The network brings out so many beautiful programs all week long. And each week on the Cosmic Prayer, we're joined by inspirational guests who share their understanding and their knowing of prayer so that you can use prayer for your life to inspire you to really unravel the truth of who you are through the practice of prayer. And that's for prosperity and health and well-being and joy. And this week, I just feel so blessed that on the Cosmic Prayer, we have an incredible guest. Her impact here on New Thought Media Network is so dynamic. Lara Brzezinski, she's a spiritual licensed practitioner. And yes, there we go. Her dynamic zeal for life and spiritual living shine through. What an incredible sentence. And that is so true. If you meet Lara, well, you will now, you'll see that she is a living example of using prayer for her own life. And as a practitioner, she brings that to her own family life, for herself, and here to New Thought Media Network, as she's on the prayer team. And we're going to be talking about this because this is such a beautiful thing that she does, as she supports her husband, Reverend Robert, with his incredible vision. She supports him to bringing that vision of New Thought Media Network to reality. So let's wait no longer and welcome Lara Brzezinski. Welcome to the Cosmic Prayer.
Thank you. I feel so special.
And you are. I love your blue earrings and your blue eyes and your blue top. It's like, wow.
It makes my eyes jump out. So yeah, I hope to get people's attention.
You are. Hi, Terry. Welcome to PM in Nova Scotia. Great. It's so great that you're here, Terry. So Lara, it's when you said yes to being on the Cosmic Prayer, which was probably about a couple of months ago now, and I've been really excited, and the weeks have been going by, and I know I've been asking you, can you come on sooner? Can you come on sooner? But now's the time, and I love it that the work that you do here as a spiritual practitioner on New Thought Media Network, inspiring people also to pray. And what does prayer mean for you, and how have you found that being on the network and actually putting that into practice so that listeners can use prayer for their own lives, but also you praying for people in their time of need? That's such a beautiful thing to do, to be part of the prayer team here.
So prayer for me, it's really evolved. I've been a practitioner with Science of Mind for 12 going on 13 years, which is amazing every time I calculate that it's been that long. And when I first came into it, it was all about using the right form, making sure I had all the steps in the right order, and I was giving each of them enough amount of attention. And over time, as a person practices, as I practiced, I realized it can be as long or as short as you want. And yes, having the 5 steps that we teach of a spiritual mind treatment is important. And yet what's more important is the state from which you're praying from. So from that space of knowing, from that space of faith, from that space of love, or that space of fear and worry, right? So what prayer for me is an opportunity to get centered back within me, to cut out the outside noise. And usually, more often than not, I'm going to a space of prayer around a challenge, around a fear, around a worry, around a perceived need. And so when I take that time to go into prayer, I'm able to let that go and go back to center. And so then I can reconnect to my faith, to that power that I know is within me, and get back into that feeling, that vibration that I want to be feeling on a regular basis, that feeling of that faith, that knowing that it will be okay, even if at the moment it doesn't appear to be, that it already is okay, even if the appearance says otherwise.
I love what you're saying, and I love the energy with which you're saying it in such a calm way, because what I'm picking up from you here right now is that you're using prayer in that moment, not just to say, I want my life changed, or I want this to change in my life and in my world, and I'm expecting that to happen. From what I'm hearing from you, it's more of, well, it's an amazing opportunity to keep and stay centered in your life, moment by moment.
Yes.
Yes. And that is so important, isn't it?
Absolutely. We have an incredible history in our family, Robert and I, of being able to manifest housing situations. And sometimes it's happened within less than 12 hours of thinking we're moving into one house as we're across country with all of our belongings in the back of a U-Haul, to calling the people that were going to help us move to say, we've changed the address. Meet us at the same time, but at this place. And it literally was in a space of 12 hours that happened. And where it came from was that moment of, they just told us we can't move in. And Robert and I back and forth saying, that's okay. We've got this. God's got this. We know how to do this. And when that panic started to rise up of what do we do now, it was, nope. And we just went into an affirmative statement, affirmative prayer, and didn't allow ourselves to go down that spiral of, oh no. And sure enough, because we were driving when we got the phone call saying the house is no longer available that you thought you were moving into tomorrow. And so by the time I think we were 20 minutes away from our hotel, by the time we got to the hotel, Robert already knew, well, I'm just going to do what's in front of me. Okay. And I'm going to do it from that space of, however it unfolds, we're supported. Spirit's with us. God's got this. And so we didn't allow ourselves to go in that space of panic by just stopping and reconnecting and doing, that quick prayer. And then as it kept going, okay, let's do another prayer right now that it's unfolding, that this person somehow, it was just amazing. And we have fun stories of almost every single house we've had to move in, that the way that right house appeared to us, and really through using prayer to just, okay, we don't know the how. Spirit's going to know the how. We might not know the timing. And let's just pray and be in that knowing, being in that calm, like you said, staying in that calm.
So there are two things here that I'm really feeling from you. It's this reminder to surrender, to relinquish control over the situation, however desperate the situation might be, whatever might be going on, just to completely relinquish and say it's okay, and then to allow it to unfold. And it's amazing when we have those tools, and we have the practice and we're used to it. And you've been how many years have you been a practitioner? Did you say 10 years or 12?
12 years.
12 years. So, and Reverend Robert as well, having his experience and as a reverend. And for a listener though, who may be really new to this and maybe wanting to practice prayer and dipping in of different ways, trying to find different ways and experimenting, how can that person, it's easy to say surrender and relinquish, isn't it, when it's a practice. For somebody very new to this maybe, or somebody who has lost their faith, or is trying to try again, what would you say right now to that person, as a means to taking that first step of that wanting or willingness to surrender? Because that's what prayer is, isn't it? It's surrendering in the moment.
And I will admit, sometimes it is very hard. Sometimes it's challenging to surrender. The first step, and this was the hardest for me to understand when I first came into learning about the science of mind and learning New Thought, was that God that I used to think was outside of me, that I was praying to, is within and co-creating with me. That it's I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. So if I'm the sailor managing the sail, then that spirit is the wind blowing into the sail. So if I let go, and now this doesn't coincide with the surrender, but if I stop doing my job as a sailor of managing the sail, then I'm not going to go anywhere. So that's how I look at it as co-creation, is that I still have to put in the effort of doing what I need to do to move forward with something. But the first step is that connecting, of saying, that power that grows the grass, the power that makes the rain, right? That the power that's in the electricity and the light, that power is also moving in me. That's beating my heart. I don't have to think about beating my heart, thank goodness, or I would forget. And I think I would, wouldn't be here anymore. But that power that's co-creating, that's breathing me, is also supporting me in co-creating my desires.
Yes.
And so the first step is to get quiet and to turn within and to remember that. And so that's where, that to me is the most important step, is because if I'm focusing on that power within me, I automatically feel like I feel fuller. I feel the energy of love. I feel a good energy, and I can, shoo the outside away. I connect within. I feel that connection. And so from that space of connection, of knowing that power operating within me, as me, through me, is what's moving this prayer forward. And so that's the first place to go to really feeling that connection. And then from there is, acknowledging that power greater than you, acknowledging that power working with you, through you, as you. Then you state that desire that you're looking for in the affirmative, not necessarily, in the case of a house, we want this house to come through like it was supposed to. It was, I trust and know that I am supported in finding that right residence that supports me and my family in the right time. And that's a space of knowing that if my need is for housing, that will be supported. But I speak as if it's already so, not I want the right house. It's that right house is there for me. So affirmatively, not begging, beseeching, but coming from that space of knowing that Spirit's working with me on this. And so that's why I can know that right house is available for me. And then I go into the gratitude that I don't have to build that house, right? I don't have to go out there and find the tools and this and this. Like, I can just say, thank you, Spirit, that you're finding this house for me, that it is available and it is the right thing that we need in the right time. And just the gratitude that I know it's working out. And gratitude in so many practices, you'll see that gratitude is so important, right? Gratitude for what we have, gratitude for what we know is coming, not I am so grateful for that $1 million mansion, right? I don't have to, put something massive out there that my own belief can't wrap its head around, but just grateful that my needs are met, whatever it is in this moment, whether it's health or healing or the right job or the right partner or, the right love in myself. Usually that's a lot of what's missing, that gratitude. And then the surrender comes in where we trust, we turn it over, we let it go. That's where we say, I just release this back out into that power, that God, that energy, whatever an individual calls it, whether they call it nature, right? And it's that letting go and allowing, and whether you say amen, which is, it is, and so it is the same thing, or whatever your prayer and whatever your language, or just you end it saying, I just let this go. Spirit, source, whatever you want. It's all in your hands. I let it go. Right. It really, it doesn't matter exactly the words we say it. It's that connection. It's that knowing. It's that trust. It's the gratitude. It's the releasing.
Wow. Thank you so much for breaking it down into these steps, which are the 5 steps really that we're taught as practitioners to use prayer effectively. And also, you have mentioned and said, ultimately, though, even if the 5 steps merge into one and kind of turn upside down, that doesn't matter either, because it is about the intention and the feeling and the belief, isn't it? And then the surrender and the letting go. So it's a practice that we can practice. And I'm just really intrigued also as to what pulled you into being a practitioner of this, of knowing it for yourself and then wanting to share that with others. What was it in you, Lara, that called you?
It's a funny story. So Robert and I first found Science of Mind because I came from a religious background, but it didn't quite fit. I was always looking because the pastors and the ministers could never fully answer my questions. And when I met Robert, he came from the God of the great outdoors. It's how he spelled God. And so I was dragging him to different churches, and he finally said, I can't do this anymore. They beat you up, and then a little bit of the time they pick you back up. But it's, only through this way. He said, I'm not into that. And a friend of ours introduced us to this philosophy, and Robert came across it by reading the Science of Mind textbook first and said, where is this? Where'd you get this? And I said, well, it's a center. Let's go check it out. And we both walked in and went, wow. So coming from each of our perspectives, we were able to feel like this is the answer, which to me was so powerful. So we immediately jumped in to take classes to learn more about it. And in the process of those taking the classes was when I really learned more about myself and my baggage and my victimhood And I learned how to release that and move through it. And so I went into practitioner training because I wanted to continue to grow myself. I did not want to take this anywhere. I did not want to help anybody else. It was all about me. And halfway through the training, I was at Salt Lake City, the Center for Spiritual Living, and we were in between ministers. And the interim minister came in and shared with each one of us the responsibility that comes with being a practitioner. And in that moment, there was something that he said that just spoke to me, and I felt it. I'm going to tear up right now, because instead of me saying, no, I don't want that, I went, wow, yes, this is my calling to help other people, to help other people feel this freedom, to help other people let go of the victimhood and the baggage and to help shift their life in a positive way. And I never looked back. So I went in the second half of my practitioner. Actually, it was the second year, the last half in it, fully like, yes, I want to take this out into the world and help people. Fully in.
Yeah.
And what I found, I didn't even know it at the time, but when I'm in an opportunity to pray with other people, I come out feeling just gigantic. I feel so filled. I feel so good that prayer for that other person, it's really a prayer for me. So I get both. It's all about me. Absolutely. And it's all about them.
Yeah. And it is, isn't it? Because we're shifting our consciousness. You're shifting your own consciousness through that prayer process. So it is you initially. And the other person will feel that the ripple of that to the degree that they can. And that's why the prayer team here at New Thought Media Network is so dynamic, because there are so many practitioners doing this, praying for people, for people's needs on a weekly or daily basis. So if as a listener listening right now, if you feel that you are in need of prayer, then there is an incredible prayer team here. Here you go. Thank you, Diego. prayer@newthoughtntmedia.org, and you can have your prayer prayed for with this technique, which we call spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, which we know works. As practitioners, we know it works because we believe it, because we've experienced it and demonstrated it for our own lives.
Yes.
So, and do many people take that opportunity here on the network to actually call? I bet you're a busy prayer team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have people reaching out, and it's fun when people email back to say, thank you, this resolved in this way, or this helped. And so yes, we do receive prayers, and it feels good, right, to have someone else to pray for. And sometimes when a prayer seems like, well, I don't have that particular thing going on in my life, right? It's not about that one thing that we're working to resolve. It's the bigger belief of, if it's a health issue, then we're working on resolving that disbelief that we are perfect health. And so there's always something within me around whatever we're praying on that I can see, okay, this is a great opportunity for me to do some more healing on that greater issue, that's the behind what we're, specifically talking about. There's something in me that is calling for healing. And so thank you. I would say thank you when somebody comes to me, because I know, okay, good. I get to work on me, on whatever this is.
Yes. And the other thing that's just coming through for me is that to remember that when we're praying for for the demonstration, that it's going to show up sometimes in very unobvious and very weird ways, how the pieces unravel themselves. It doesn't always make sense in our humanness or in our logical mind, does it? It will right. Something will happen, or a phone call, or something like you said, your house has suddenly been diverted and you're living over there and not over there, and it's like, what? I wasn't praying for that. But actually you were praying for that, because you were praying for the perfect home And so that's why it had to shift like that in that moment. It didn't make sense. And so it's so important to allow it to show up in the odd way that it's going to show up, isn't it? Not to try and outline how it should be.
And I've recognized, I love the term a bridge, because that first house that we believe we were moving into was the bridge to the right and perfect house. And it allowed me to take any energy and focus off finding the house, because we needed to pack and move. And so once it was like, okay, it's taken care of, we can focus on pack and move, and I don't have to think about it, until we were within a half an hour of the hotel of like, we got to move in tomorrow morning. Then it was, okay, let's put some more attention onto it. And there's things in my life that have happened where it wasn't the right and perfect job, I thought, but it was the bridge that got me to that next right and perfect job. And so it might be a relationship that, why was I in that relationship? Because there was something in it that grew you.
Yes.
That there was something in it that helped you to see really your value or what you really want in a relationship. That sometimes that not quite is just that bridge. And I absolutely know that we all gain something out of whatever it is we're experiencing: relationship, health, a housing, a job, a financial situation. So what is it that I am getting out? And not, find the silver lining. I don't mean that, because sometimes things are really painful and challenging. And yet, how am I growing through this? What am I looking for? If this is not what I want, what do I really want? It's helping to clarify sometimes. And sometimes it's helping us to stand up for ourselves. Yeah. Sometimes it's helping us to get clear on, like I said, our values. Sometimes it's, just a simple, okay, I wasn't thinking of the whole picture. I missed this.
Yeah.
And
wow. I love what you're saying, because I'm hearing that from you that, aside from prayer being this opportunity or this possibility to shift our own consciousness to live the life that we want to, or experience the life that we think we need to be experiencing, we can use prayer to really introvert and to really look within, to say, well, this is the bridge I'm transversing right now. These are the stepping stones that I'm stepping over, and I'm using prayer as the foundation as I take each step. And isn't that a beautiful practice? Because it allows us then to really look at how we are handling those steps mindfully in the moment with the prayer, day by day.
Yes. And absolutely, I will say there are days where I just do a prayer of gratitude that this is working. I'm so grateful for this and for what's next, because quite often I might think that everything about, this one thing is perfect. And yet Spirit knows, oh, this is just a bridge or it's just a stepping stone. You think so even if I don't think that I need improvement, I'm in that space of doing a prayer about it, and that prayer of gratitude for what is, until something nudges me to say, no, there's something more. So I just wanted to stress that I pray every day.
Yeah.
And so if I don't see something that, like, if I don't have a prayer for somebody that, something else or whatever, then my prayer is just that space of gratitude and knowing that I'm growing, or I'm, I pick a specific focus, but it's not always that I want something to shift and change.
Just
being in that knowing that all is well, life is good, and thank you.
And isn't that a beautiful place to be in? That's where we want to be. I mean, that's where that's my intention, to be there every moment and to acknowledge really what is working. And there's so much that is working. And now in this time, where we're we're experiencing what we're experiencing. You know, you in Colorado, me in the UK, and what we've journeyed in the last year, and how our countries are dealing with all of this stuff, and how we as citizens of our own countries are being we're being tested
Yes.
in so many ways and challenged in so many ways. And for me, I find, you know, I've used this prayer for a long time, for many years, and yet in the last year I've deepened my practice because of what's been happening. And I've found that gratitude, yes, coming back to gratitude is such a powerful and important foundation as a prayer.
Yes. And what I found too, if I'm in the space of gratitude, it's really hard to be grumpy.
Yeah. I was really grumpy yesterday. And Jason said to me, right, Laura, we're going for a drive, and I want you to, I'm going to drive, he said, and you've got take a notebook and a pen, and I want you to write out every single thing that you are grateful for. It was amazing. It was amazing. We did it together, and it's like 5 pages of what's amazing right now. And that shifted so much.
Yes.
No more grumpy Laura.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because we're human, aren't we? You know, we're experiencing this, and we are human beings here. So it's about our managing of all of this, and how quickly we come back to the truth.
Yes.
How quickly we bounce back. And we have these tools, these beautiful tools that work.
Yes. Yep. I have not met anybody that can stay happy all the time.
No.
because of that part of what this whole experience is to do different things and move through them, and my personal goal is to move through everything every day with as much grace as possible. But when I trip and fall, pick myself back up, shake it off, and see how quickly I can get back to that space of grace. And sometimes it's not so quick. Excuse me. And that's where these tools comes in of taking a breath, taking a moment, getting centered, and okay. And sometimes it's my simple prayer is, this is not the truth of me. Mm-hmm. When I am not being the way I want to be, mm-hmm. and when I'm not coming from that space of kindness or understanding or compassion, whether it's for myself or for someone or something out there, this is not the way I would like to be. This is not the truth of my being. Lara, what is the truth of your being? And really it's stopping, right? Jason gave you the opportunity to use a tool to stop the grumpy, right? Let's stop and let's refocus. So these are all tools, whether it's stopping to take a breath, whether it's stopping to go into a full prayer, whether it's stopping to just say, okay, what can I be thankful for right now? I just stubbed my toe. What can I be thankful for right now? I'm thankful that I can walk. I'm not in a wheelchair. I have 2 legs. I am grateful that I'm in such a hurry. You know, I have somewhere to go, that I stubbed my toe. It sounds silly sometimes, and yet that's what gets me back to the silly of, like, how can I be grateful that I just stubbed my toe?
And you need to make a song out of that.
Right. But that's what brings us back. That's what say, okay, I stubbed my toe. So what? Just keep going. And what's the gift? What did I need to learn? And okay, slow down. Quite often in life, when I start breaking things, or I hit door jams, or I stub my toe, it's slow down, Lara. Slow down. Just, you don't have to be in a hurry all the time. It's all these different tools.
I love this reminder, and I can feel so much grace and peace coming through from you right now. I feel so blessed that you're here, sharing all of this, because if I can feel it, I certainly know that listeners here on New Thought Media Network are feeling you and what you're saying and the power of what you're saying with so much serenity. Thank you so much for bringing your light here and shining it right now, because I know that there are lots of people that need to hear this, me included.
And me included.
Oh.
I need the reminder. And thank you, Laura. These have been so fun to watch your conversations with your different guests, because everyone brings a different perspective. We might have had the same tools of here's the 5 steps and here's how you do it. And yet we all bring our own way of being to it and our own conversations around answering your question. They're all different. And every time I watch somebody, there's just so much joy when we talk about prayer, right? And I listen and I find myself smiling. I feel myself being uplifted. So you bringing all of us onto your show to share is so powerful. And so thank you for you doing this.
Oh,
this is wonderful.
It's my honor and pleasure. I've got a bit of an echo going on here. Don't know why. That's better. This is an important topic, isn't it? That's how I feel in my heart, that we can overlook this because we think it's religious, or it's, as you said, begging to a God out there. And it's so vital right now for us to remember who we are. And when we know that, or have an inkling of that, then we can use it and use prayer in such a beautiful way, because we're working with our own consciousness. So for anybody that wants to learn more about this, if you're watching now and listening to Lara Brzezinski, who's a licensed practitioner and is always available with practitioner sessions and prayer sessions. If you're listening and you would like to know more, then please connect with Lara here through New Thought Media Network. Is that the best way to
yes.
to connect with you? Yes. And so Terry, hi Terry, it's great to be with you here today. And there was another lady that came up as well. I think it was Donna. Paula, hi Paula, great to be joined with you here today. So and Terry, here's a musical gift. Oh, a musical gift. I wonder what that is.
I'll have to go find that afterwards and listen.
Yeah,
thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Terry has a show here on New Thought Media Network on the radio called Go With The Flow. I think it's Go With The Flow. Yes. Which is a great show.
It's very fun what she puts together.
Oh, great. I'll have to have her on the Cosmic Prayer, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's, would you like to share a prayer right now, Lara, for something that's in your heart, on your mind, that you feel right now, wow, this could really serve humanity?
I think what you talked about, how this time over the past year, what's going on really called you to go deeper instead of what we can't do anymore. What can I do? And it called you to turn deeper into your spiritual practice.
Oh, yeah.
And connect more and pray more. I would love to do a prayer, because I agree with that. I think that's so powerful, and what a blessing to have a deeper connection with Source, with Spirit, with what's going on out there, right?
Yeah.
And so I think if we just do a prayer for that deeper connection within each individual, and a deeper knowing and a greater connection to love, recognizing that we're all in this together. We have one home, and we're one giant family. And there are definitely some people on this planet that still don't get that. And so I just think a prayer for a deeper connection individually and a deeper connection with each other all across this planet would be a good prayer today.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. That sounds everything you've said. Would you like to begin, or shall I? I'll leave it to you to choose.
I will begin, and then I'll turn to you, and you can take us home.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
So I invite anyone listening, as long as you're not driving, to turn within, to close your eyes, and just allow the presence that you are to be right now in this moment. To allow that feeling of connection to bubble up. And as each one turns within and remembers that there is only one energy, one source, one power, one love, however you wish to name it, there is one that is moving in, through, and as everything on this planet. That energy that grows the grass, that allows the caterpillar to turn to mush within its cocoon and then emerge as a new creation. That energy that flows when I flip a light switch. The energy that is breathing, moving my lungs without me even thinking. And yet I can turn the attention to my breathing and I can breathe my lungs with it. That energy, that power, that all creative essence is moving in, through, and as everyone. Moving in, through, and as me in this moment, as I speak, as I share. And I am connected. I am connected and co-creating my life on this planet with it. Tapping in to be reminded that I am not doing everything on my own. I am doing what I am doing with this power behind me. And when I tap in and when I remember, it is easier. And that every being on this planet has the same power to tap in, to connect to that co-creative essence within each and every one. And so right now in this moment, I just call forth every individual to be reminded of the amazing creation that you are. To be reminded of the power that is breathing you, that is within you at all times, in every moment. And so I just hold the space of knowing that this is a time of connection. This is a time for every being on this planet to take a moment, to remember, to realize there is more to them than they see, than they know, than they have ever believed before. And I hold the space that more and more people on this planet are recognizing our divine connection to each and every one. I'm holding the space for a greater awareness of this one home that we live on. The air that circulates all around the planet, the air that I breathe is the air that Laura breathes, is the air that Terry breathes. Whether it's Olympia, Washington, whether it's the Terry in Nova Scotia, this air is circulating all across the planet. We breathe the same air. We drink the same water. And we are under the same sky, the same sun, just at different times of the rotation of the planet. And so I am just holding the space of a greater connection, a greater love, a greater kindness, compassion, appreciation for each other. as we continue to recognize that we are one in this pandemic that is happening, in the healing that is happening around this planet. We are all one. And I pass to Laura.
Thank you, Lara. And I am just so grateful right now to know and to realize that every sentient being on this planet and beyond lifts in their knowing, in their hearts, in their minds, to the awareness of love. Love beyond emotion. The love that is the love of that presence, of the divine, that is seeded in each of our hearts. And as we lift to this, we then know and recognize each other as that love. And so we bring forth kindness, consideration, compassion, care, unity, as we consciously choose to live moment by moment from that place of love, from that place of peace that we all are. And as we recognize this for ourselves, then our universe and beyond becomes this place where we know we are co-creating and we are going beyond what we may have thought yesterday or we may have believed 10 minutes ago. That we can shift and we can change our awareness right now in this moment to that of love. And as I see each of us doing this, I see this healing, this realization coming through, where there is well-being, vitality, health and healing and prosperity, and where we all take time to share, to converse, to understand each other and accept each other in a very different way, in a way that grows us, in a way that prospers us, in a way where we know we are taking our lives forward in a momentum, where we are knowing that we're united and that as we are serving ourselves and others, then we are being served by that too. So yes, I feel this unity and I know it, and this oneness and this collaborative understanding that we are love, that we are peace, and that we can use this because this is the presence coming through us, love and peace and joy and health and well-being and prosperity. And as I know and see this for me and for Lara and for all concerned with New Thought Media Network and Diego and Reverend Robert Brzezinski and every single listener who may be listening right now or in the future, that I know this love for each of us, just as God does, just as the divine does. And so with that, I know that the gratitude that I have right now, the gratitude for this knowing of love, the demonstration of love, I just am overwhelmed with that sense and knowing of gratitude and appreciation. And as I let go of this, knowing that it is done, knowing that the presence has it covered, knowing that that presence is the love right now and that every word that has been spoken by Lara and by me is seeded in the creative law into the heart and the mind of God. So I let go, knowing that it is done, and simply say with Lara, and so it is.
And so it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. And Terry, hi Terry. Great to be with you here on the Cosmic Prayer.
And I love
So
it. I'm in
wonderful.
Colorado, and Terry
And
is in Olympia, Washington, and Terry
I'm in
Joyce
Eastbourne.
is in Nova Scotia, and
wow.
We're blessing people all around the planet.
Absolutely. And thank you, Lara, for being here and you shining your light. And I just love your whole vibe and your whole what you stand for, and what you're doing for New Thought Media Network is so beautiful. So just before we kind of wrap it up here, you are actually on the prayer team here with New Thought Media Network. So you do show up a few times a week, don't you, with the prayer and meditation broadcasts? What times? Oh, there we go. Prayer at newthoughtmedianetwork.org. What days and times are you on live, Lara?
So we have someone on the prayer team every morning at 8:15 a.m. and evening 8:15 p.m. And I do either Saturday or Sunday occasionally in the mornings, and then I will fill in evenings throughout the week. So it depends on the week, what night or nights I might be there. So we rotate. It's really fun between, it's just when people feel called or when they have availability. And so to be honest, I don't know what night I'm on this week.
Oh, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But they're always good.
And it's amazing to know that the team is here, kind of a foundation backbone of New Thought Media Network, doing this beautiful and important and vital work for the listeners and for humanity.
Yes. Yep. There are lots of amazing programs, and we just keep growing, and I'm grateful for it.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And that you are just with Reverend Robert, you're holding that vision for this network to really shine its light for this planet right now. It's just so incredible. So exciting.
It is. It's fun. Almost every day he says, guess who I just talked to? I don't know, because so many ministers and practitioners and musicians. It's so exciting. There's something new coming every week, it seems like.
It's fantastic. And that, seeded in prayer, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All of what is happening here and evolving is seeded in prayer and vision. So it's very powerful. So for listeners listening right now, now is your deeper opportunity to really take this into your heart and listen back to what Lara has said in this conversation. If you've only just joined us, please go back and rewind once it's out there as a replay, because there are so many beautiful gems and vital things that Lara's been talking about with prayer and how you can use it for your life. And if you want to know more, then you can get in touch with Lara here at the network. Thank you so much, Lara, for being here today. And I holding that space for you to come back as well again and talk again on prayer.
Thank you. Really cool. I feel so filled, as I said.
Yeah,
so happy. This has been fun. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lara. And thank you for listening here to this broadcast of the Cosmic Prayer on New Thought Media Network. If this has touched your heart in any way, or seed been planted in your mind, and you feel that you would like to give it back with a love offering, you are so welcome to do that. There is a donation link here on this post, and you can actually add into that. There we go, New Thought Media Network. There's the address there. There's a donation link there. So feel free, to share and seed forwards with your gratitude for everything that this ministry is doing right now, because it is it's going to feed your soul, whether you know it or not in your conscious mind. So, and thank you for being here, Lara, and we will see you back here next week on the Cosmic Prayer. And if you've just found this, then share it out with your friends on Facebook. You can like the New Thought Media Network Facebook page, because there's so many other shows and broadcasts that come up during the week, and delve in and enjoy it. Enjoy everything that is on offer here with New Thought Media Network. Until next time, see you on the Cosmic Prayer, and have a fantastic week. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Cosmic Prayer. Your Weekly Shift with Laura Topper on the New Thought Media Network. If you've enjoyed this programming, please tell a friend and join us again next week for Cosmic Prayer, Your Weekly Shift with Laura Topper.